Imagine the heroes who sent America to the moon were once deeply tied to one of history's darkest regimes. This is the staggering truth of Operation Paperclip. Operation Paperclip was one of the most audacious and controversial intelligence operations in American history. It involved secretly bringing over 1,600 German scientists, engineers, and technicians to the United States after World War II. As World War II ended, a new kind of war began, the intellectual and technological race between the US and the Soviet Union. The prize? The advanced scientific knowledge held by the defeated German regime. The objective was clear: prevent this German expertise from falling into Soviet hands. Over 1,600 German specialists, many with documented ties to the Nazi Party, were brought to America. Initially called Operation Overcast, the plan was simple extraction, aimed at gathering German intellectual capital. But the emerging geopolitical tension would soon demand a more permanent solution. The escalating Cold War meant the U.S. saw these scientists not just as assets, but as strategic necessities. Preventing the Soviets from acquiring German rocket, chemical, and aviation expertise as the program was formalized under the name Paperclip, the dark history of many of the recruits became an inconvenient truth. The U.S. government began sanitizing their records to grant them entry and security clearance. The operation presented a profound moral dilemma, sacrificing ethical standards for scientific advancement and national security. The decision was made to prioritize strategic gain above all else. Many of these scientists, including key figures, were deeply integrated into the Nazi regime, involved in concentration camp labor for rocket production and other war crimes. Their past was simply deemed a necessary evil. To bypass strict anti-Nazi immigration policies, their war records were systematically, quote, laundered by American officials. The damning evidence of their past was literally erased or hidden from view. Among the influx of scientists were some of the brightest minds in rocketry and aerospace technology, ready to take up positions in American defense and science programs. The most famous recruit was Wernher von Braun, the architect of the Nazi V-2 rocket program. In America, he became the father of the Saturn V rocket, the very launch vehicle that carried men to the moon. Other scientists made critical contributions across various fields, including aerodynamics, medicine, chemical weapons research, and cold weather survival techniques, all bolstering American capabilities. The influx of this elite scientific talent immediately accelerated American research and development, providing a massive, virtually instantaneous head start. The German rocketry expertise became the bedrock of the entire U.S. space program, culminating in the Apollo missions and the victory over the Soviet Union in the race to the moon. Beyond space, Paperclip scientists contributed significantly to Cold War military technology, strengthening the U.S. defense apparatus against the rising Soviet threat. Decades later, Operation Paperclip remains a thorny, complex chapter in American history, defined by a deep moral conflict. The paradox is inescapable. The individuals responsible for creating weapons of terror under the Nazi regime were recast as American scientific heroes, celebrated for sending men to the stars. While some details emerged over time, the full extent of the cover-up and the moral compromises made were often delayed or obscured from public knowledge, fueling continued controversy. Operation Paperclip delivered scientific triumphs and national security gains, but at a significant ethical cost that still resonates today. The program secured technological superiority for the U.S. during a critical period, but it forced the nation to overlook documented war crimes and whitewash history in the process. Operation Paperclip remains a crucial yet uncomfortable shadow cast across the history of American achievement, reminding us that progress often comes with profound moral compromises.